Evening, people. Welcome to Born and Red. It's the return of Galatasaray in Champions League. We've seen him get battered by 5-1, but the people who watched that match tell me that it wasn't a 5-1 game. I don't know if Avi saw it. I most certainly didn't see it, but the manager was talking about the Frankfurt v Galatasaray match today, and he said that it wasn't a 5-1 game. It might be a 5-1, it might be a 3-all. It might be a real dagger at the end of the game where Liverpool concede another set piece, but let's hope that isn't the case, as lightning will strike twice in a couple of days. But welcome, it's me, it's Avi. Ben, as far as I know, about 5 minutes.
Where is he, man?
He said he's coming. But Avi, welcome. By the way, nice of you to join me. But go on, he dressed up like he's just about to go out. Head in, huh?
No. I was in a meeting, so I got my haircut first. I got on the meeting and then I jumped on the stream. Had to wear a little bit of a shirt, like a casual shirt. But yeah, looking forward to it. Galatasaray, Asim, what do we know about Galatasaray? Well,
by the way, I'm going to stop you. We will talk about Galatasaray. I was watching a bit of Mateus Fernandes today, you know, Avi. I caught the well, there's nothing else to do after about half an hour ago, but I watched most of the game. Mateus Fernandes.
Tidy, huh? You like him?
Very tidy, Avi. Very tidy.
Could he have done a job at Liverpool?
Probably not in the first team.
But someone to bring along to relieve grabs his legs a little bit, give him a bit of minutes.
Yeah, he'd be a good understudy. He'd be a good understudy. But a lot of people are wanting Wharton and understand the demand for Wharton. But, you know, if you're looking at how much did he go for? Around about £20 million, I think it was.
25 million altogether. I had to Google it when I told you before, when I told you last week about the fee.
But
I think
good, cultured, technical footballer, you know, busy. Always wants the ball.
I think that's a great word. Busy, always looks for the ball. He's a good player. He was highly thought about Sporting Lisbon, gets his move to Southampton. And I really thought there would be some big... Well, I didn't expect West Ham to be so poor under Graham Potter, but I did expect maybe a bigger club to go in for him. But he's a player that just impresses me, Asim, and maybe a season or two at West Ham. And I think he'll be then 23, 24. Maybe he will get that big move. But he's definitely an impressive player. And I think they're currently 1-1 under Nuno as well. So Nuno's coming. I think he'll change their fortunes.
Ben will join us. Let's go straight to the manager's presser. Liva Bird is saying, evening guys, interested in hearing your takes on Slot's presser. There's a lot of questions about set pieces, a lot of questions about the defensive structure. What did you make of it? Did you catch it, Avi?
I caught a little bit of Slot's and Hugo Ekitike. I thought Hugo Ekitike spoke very well. I know his English is pretty good, but I thought he spoke very well. He said, you know, it wasn't the smartest of decisions that he made when he took his shirt off, but you know, it's all part of the learning process. And Liverpool is certainly an institution, a football club where it lets you learn and mature and, you know, iron out the little idiot sort of behavior. Not that he was an idiot for what he did, just silly, wasn't it, what he did to get that second yellow? If that had been the first yellow, you wouldn't have complained, but because it was a second yellow, and the first yellow was a bit silly as well when he kicks the ball away. You know, he'll definitely iron that out. But I thought his words were fine. Slot, I know he was pressed on Chiesa a little bit. Funnily enough, he kind of said, and I think it makes sense as well, that Chiesa can't be registered right now because of Leone's injury. Hasn't been 2 months. I think that's a law. But but what he said was he felt a niggle against Crystal Palace, which, when you think about it, over the course of the 36 games that he's played in, or the course of 24 games that he's played for Liverpool, you can understand that he played on Wednesday against Southampton, a full 94, 95 minutes. And then he comes on and he picks up a little niggle. So I kind of trust Slot's words. I think someone in the comment made that he smirked at it and he thought it was BS. I don't think it is BS. By track record, you could probably understand that he felt something in his hamstring or maybe something wasn't right for Chiesa to travel with the team to Turkey.
Ben, what's going on?
You're late, man. You're late. Look at the time.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. I'm just sticking with the born and red theme, you know. I
We
thought
were
I'd be on
early today,
time.
mate. We were early. We
No,
were only
no.
2
I'm
minutes late.
actually still psychologically recovering from the absolute beating that I took last night on the chat. Honestly,
You know what? You know what? The comments were really busy when I woke up this morning. You know, really
Oh,
busy.
yeah. You know what? All good, isn't it? All good. Yeah, I'm good, guys. Yeah. I'm what's it called? Another 24 hours closer to the Reds, putting us all what's it called through the mill again and stressing us all out. Let's hope that they sort it out a little bit this time and put in a little bit more of a solid performance. But yeah, I'm all good, mate. Another ridiculously busy day in work, as I'm sure it's been for you too. But yeah, looking forward to an early midweek Liverpool showing tomorrow night.
Early midweek showing. We'll discuss how we think Liverpool are gonna line up later on, Ben. But did you catch? I was just asking Avi if you caught the presser. I'm sure you caught the presser earlier on. What do you make of it? A lot of questions towards the manager, defensive questions, set piece questions, and there's a quote that stuck with me. He said the things we have to improve are not so difficult. It's just throwing yourself in front of every ball, competing harder to win your duels, sprint back harder to win the second ball. Things we are known for, things we have done well so many times. Is that him protecting his players? Don't want to go into it too much and keeping it simple in front of the cameras? Or do we take that quote at face value? Because at the moment, if I'm looking at that, he's talking about effort there, isn't he?
I have to take it at face value. I have to, and you're almost saying is that he's basically outlining that there's been a bit of complacency so far this season, and
who's that on then?
I watched that. I watched that later on. I didn't watch it live. I watched it after because I say I've been so busy today. But when I watched it, I was thinking to myself, he is talking about complacency, but then if you link that in with some of the mannerisms that we saw for that Crystal Palace equaliser, where it was almost as if like, oh, we're just going to go and break away and get a last minute winner again because that's what we do. It almost ties in with the mentality of the lads where we're like, well, we don't really need to play well because we'll just find a way. And it's like, that was a real reminder on Saturday. And it's probably a reminder from Slot to his players that you don't get nothing for free in this league. Even less so if you're champions, because everybody wants a piece of you. Everyone wants to give an extra 5-10% against you. And it's all well and good signing world-class players and having, all this brilliant squad. But if you don't do the basics of running, of working, of winning your duels, of battling, then it's all for nothing. And, I think it maybe is a little bit of a wake-up call for the team.
Avi, does that concern you? The manager's talking about running faster, sprinting faster, working harder?
No, I can understand there's going to be slight cases of arrogance in the team, especially after game one, that they have this belief that they'll come back from any situation. And I think all of us as fans watching that game when Chiesa scores in the 84th minute, we were in a kind of, we're going to get the winner here. There's no doubt that we'll get the winner. I think, come on, if we're being serious, I think we all expected us to get a late winner. And whether it was the 90th minute or the 98th minute, we thought we were going to be the club that nicks it towards the end. Undeservedly, but we thought we were probably going to be the club that nicks it. So I think it's I think it's good that it's come in the sixth game of the season. Pegs us back a bit, brings us a bit of humility in the team. But I think being champions, Asim, and the way we won the league, we have a little bit of arrogance. There has to be a little bit of ego. There has to be a little bit of invincibility in the team. These are how Fergie's teams used to grind results out. Fergie's teams during the 90s and the early 2000s weren't the greatest of teams.
It's a fine line, though, isn't it, Avi? Between arrogance and complacency.
It is, but that's the manager's job, isn't it? It's the manager's job to keep us in tow, keep us in line, to say, hey, listen, yes, we won the league, but there's no greatness yet in this team until we go back to back, until we contest the Champions League season in, season out, until we've won it, until this Slot team has set its own legacy. It's Slot's job to maintain standards. And look, a lot's happened as well, Asim. Look, we know, obviously, the tragedy of Diego Jota. that'll be playing up on players. Look, you only have to look at Salah's reaction after the Bournemouth game, that this is going to be a long season where emotions like this, even on the 20th minute when Diego's song is being sung, that will be emotional at that given second, and they have to snap out of it. That's tough on the team. But look, Slot has identified it. He said it today in the presser, where complacency creeps in, and it's his job, the coach's job, to keep us in. It's the captain's job too. But Virgil, of all, has that nonchalant style, isn't it? As captain, he does seem as if he's always self-assured. But the rest of the team around him aren't like him. They haven't got that kind of aura like him. There are certain individuals like Salah who's got that winning mentality, who can pick out a golden moment, but other players around him won't have that. There's only few and far between in that first 11 that have that sort of feeling where every game we go into, we're going to win every opposition. It is the captain's job and the coach's team to iron those issues out. But listen, I just want to say as well, yesterday's show was heated at times. You were emotional. I thought I was kind of balanced. Where the season out, we're still top of the summit. There is work to do. And listen, as long as Arsenal are on our coattails, we just need to keep improving week in and week out and just bettering what they're doing.
Just on what you're saying there about the fact that the situation the way it is, where the likes of United in the 90s, they used to be a team who weren't complacent, but they very much could just go through the motions a little bit. Maybe it's an interesting show to do in the international break when we haven't got too much to talk about. But I actually think now the Premier League, the way that it is, maybe there aren't as many world-class players and not as many even top-class teams, but there's no hiding places in this Premier League anymore. They're too well coached, they're too fit, and they're too well organised for you to be complacent at any time. So you've got to put it in every single game. And that's why you see in the early weeks of the season, a Sunderland in the top 6 or whatever who have just come up from the Championship. And I know things will settle down as the season goes on, but there is the cliche of there's no easy games at all. And Liverpool can't really take anybody for granted, and we can't afford to rest on our laurels and be egotistical. We've got to put it in and put the fight and the battle in every game. Just watching the end of the Ev here now, West Ham have been shite all season, and they've just gave Everton a superb game there. Played really well second half and could have won it. So it's just like everyone just thought Everton will turn up tonight and it'll be a formality, but it just shows you there's no easy games.
Ben, I don't want to come to comments like this, and we will address some of the comments before we get into the Champions League game. Slot is an absolute melt for disrespecting Chiesa. How's he disrespected him?
He's injured, mate.
He's clearly said he's got a niggle. Yeah, he's clearly said he's got a niggle. I thought there was a law where a player who's been injured, who's in the Champions League squad, it has to take up to 8 weeks, 2 months for the next player to be brought in. I don't know if that's
no, it's not. Law. He's good. He's in. It got announced on, I think it was the 26th. Somebody put it in the Ultras. The Ultras are on it. Somebody put it in the chat to say that it had been announced. But the interesting thing I was going to say about Chiesa is well, 2 questions. The chat again. I'll be all over it. I'm being nice.
I'm not going to take.
Are we allowed?
Ben, sorry, I'm not going to take Jimbo's word that there was no injury. I'm not going to take Jimbo Pierce's word either. And I respect James Pierce. I think he gets a lot of flack 80% of the time from Liverpool Twitterati. But
a few journalists said there was no injury.
If Slot has said that he felt a niggle, I trust Slot. I trust my manager at this point.
Yeah, and I think he's probably looking at the balance and thinking, so can we only have a 21-man squad? Or could we have we obviously couldn't have, that was the limit. So the question is, who would he out of the squad that goes left behind? And if you actually look through the squad, I'm not sure who he would have left behind. So if he has got a slight niggle and he was maybe only going to use him off the bench anyway, who out the squad would have left behind?
Woodman.
People are saying Woodman, but you've got to have 3 keepers, because if Alisson pulled a hamstring in the warm-up and you'd have a Mamadashvili starting, and then he gets an injury second half. I know it's highly unlikely, but you don't want to be playing a Champions League game with Gravenberch in goal for the last 20 minutes. So that's just the way that it is. Every top class team takes 3 keepers away.
I just want to comment that. Is that the general consensus that most teams take 3 goalkeepers away?
Well, no, normally, yeah, I would say so, yeah. But the question is, why did he register him in the squad then if he wasn't going to take him
That's
or
okay.
use him?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand. So whether or not we can take 22, I don't know. But I'm not actually sure exactly on the rules. If we could, then it probably would have done. But I think if he's saying there's a niggle, then he's like he's being careful with him. You know.
I mean, what I would say is there are a few journalists tonight that are saying
Salah.
they don't quite believe Slot when he says Chiesa is injured.
I'd rather trust my manager's words.
I
have no reason to doubt Arne Slot when it comes to anything in terms of Chiesa's injury. Or I rather believe Slot because that's a believable story that Chiesa felt unable. Considering the amount of time it took him to get to speed last season, the injuries that he had last season, and then this season he's had a flying start coming off the bench, influenced games, played 95, 96 minutes on Wednesday, and then comes on Saturday, feels a niggle at the 12:30 game where the timings matter as well. Gets around about 25 minutes on Saturday and felt a slight niggle. And then saving him for the Chelsea game, which is a bigger game in the context of things, I believe Arne in this instance.
Okay.
But for people to start now doubting Slot and he's bold this, he's a fraud this, have a really good look at yourselves, guys. What he's done, what he's had to contend with over the summer, a new squad as well. There's so many factors in the last sort of 18 months alone that Slot has, or in the last year alone that Slot has had to deal with. Let's cut a bit of slack. He deserves that much at least. I think it's embarrassing the amount of shit and stick that he's getting.
It's also an interesting situation in that we actually haven't got any injuries either at the moment. So normally there would be 1 or 2 players out and therefore players would just make the squad. But he's having to pick a squad because obviously everybody's fit. So if there's even a slight doubt over one of your players who he clearly isn't going to start anyway, let's have it right, then it's probably just on the side of caution. Like, I don't know whether or not you have to name a squad for the home games or not. Because I don't know, was Woodman in the squad for the home game? Because Leone would have been in the squad, I guess. But I don't know. As I say, at the end of the day, he's not in it, is he? So we move on. We move on, don't we? And hopefully he's on the bench on Saturday and he comes off the bench and scores again. And that's all he can do, isn't it? That's all he can do. If he comes out, he keeps scoring, and then he's going to keep asking the question.
Keep scoring. That's what strikers do. There was a bit of a conversation regarding. I want to come to you both on it. And we've been, speculating what the original plan was. I've been speaking about the front 5. I think we're short, especially on the left-hand side. But the manager had some comments in regards to the 2 number 9s, Avi. I'll just quickly read it out. I want to know what you think about it. I wasn't aware on my record. I think he was given his record in his first
170 games or something,
70 games, yeah. Now when we go 1-0 up, usually I have managed 2 very good clubs, always playing at the top end of the table. And here he goes. We have added 2 number 9s. How should I say this the right way? Because of an enormous tragedy with Jota, we had to bring in 2. We always thought we'd replace Darwin Núñez, but we had to bring in 2. We have always looked for the very good players, but it was always clear for us from the start we wanted these 2, Isak and Ekitike. When I listened to that, I started thinking about the original plan. And I've been saying it for a couple of months now, where I don't think we get Ekitike if we didn't have the enormous tragedy of Diogo Jota. Would you agree with that after listening to that tonight, Abby?
I agree, but I always will say that I think he was part of the plan in terms of if the Isak deal didn't get through, I think we would have pulled the trigger on Ekitike. I think
I agree.
when you look at profiles, Ekitike has the potential to be very similar, a mirror-like image in terms of playing ability, like Isak, and he's shown the incredible form already. Like, what's he got? 5 and 6 or 5 and 7 for Liverpool. I can agree with what you're saying, Asim, that maybe we would have gone for a left winger. But obviously, what happened over the summer that we had to just get to, and one obviously Nunes, and unfortunately Diogo Jota, and he was trying to find the right word, and he said, "Look, I don't really want to use replacing, but it's obviously he's English and from Netherlands, it's not his first language." So he said, "Look, we had to get Ekitike and we had to get 2 forwards in." I think Alexander Isak was the number 1 choice, Asim, but I think had that fallen through and situations were different, I think they would have got Ekitike. And maybe, 2 of them this summer wasn't the plan. But then Ekitike would have been playing elsewhere. There's no doubt about that because, like they said, Chelsea, Manchester United, I think that was mentioned to Ekitike too, that, you had other clubs come in for you. And, is there a case where Alexander Isak will be the number 1 choice? And he said, no, for me, I'm going to fight for my place. All I can do is score goals and prove the not manager wrong, but always ask the question for the manager to be a little bit sort of double-sided when it comes to selection.
Ben?
Yeah, I totally agree with Avi. Totally agree. I think Isak was always the number 1. He was the like-for-like replacement with Nunes, but obviously a huge upgrade in every facet. And then obviously Jota would have been the perfect foil for Isak because he would have been able to give him rest times, be given game time, be used in the right way, but not be demanding to start. Therefore, give Isak time to build up. But at the same time, as I say, not be like, chomping at the bit and expecting to play every week. Whether Ekitike is like that over time, I don't know. But the opportunity there was to upgrade in a position that, wouldn't have been an available position had what happened to Jota not happened. So we've almost like overstocked in that position now, and we're set ourselves up for quite a long time. I think they've probably thought of it and thought, well, could we get a Mateta or could we get another sort of backup striker, should we say? But it's like, why pay 40-50 million pounds for somebody who would do a job maybe for 2 or 3 years when we could buy this potential superstar for an extra 20 odd million? And if he develops the way we expect and he's demanding to play in a couple of years' time, Isak's doing what we all hope he will, then we can move Ekitike on for a huge profit. They're looking at the conveyor belt and the structure of the team, whereas they're looking at every single player either contributes today, contributes tomorrow, and has got a significant sell-on value in the future. We're not really in the market, or we're not in really now under this regime in the mentality of buying stopgaps. Your players like your Endo, where it was like a stopgap, and it's like we couldn't get who we really wanted, so we needed someone, so we'll just get somebody. We haven't bought a stopgap this summer. Every single player we bought is either a player for the now or for the future, but they're very much with a first team mentality in it. We haven't really bought any squad players at all. I'd even include Leone in that as well. So, yeah, and then obviously they would have liked to have replaced Diaz when that, but then when that money came along, I think because they ploughed such huge investment into Ekitike and Isak and obviously Wirtz, then the reality was that they didn't have the funds to be able to go and get another monster left winger who they really, really wanted, or the player that they could have got again was not really suitable. So they thought, we'll keep our powder dry. We'll give Cody a new new contract. We'll give him the opportunity to be the lead man on the left wing. We've got Rio Ingamoa waiting in the wings who could explode at any point, and we might even get an extra tune out of Chiesa this season. So I think they thought they could make it and they could do it, and we still hopefully will. It's just that the firepower has been shifted from the wings to the centre of the pitch. And if you think about it, that should be the case, because at the end of the day, last season we were playing Diaz through the middle by the end of the season because Nunes wasn't firing. And, God rest his soul, neither was Jota, to be fair. So, to upgrade with the Ekitike and Isak, you think to yourself, well, the goals should be replaced. It's just that they're in a different position in the pitch and the wide men can become more facilitators. And that's without having a conversation of Florian Wirtz. So it's the tools are there. It's just about gelling them all together and putting us into the right system and structure to get the best out of it.
Let's go to tomorrow's game, Avi. When Liverpool don't lose a lot of football matches, but when they do, they normally respond, and that's what every single Liverpool fan is looking for in this team. Tomorrow night is a big old response.
It is. It's going to be a hostile atmosphere at Galatasaray, who we have played before in the Champions League. I recall a game which was played at the Ataturk Stadium a few years later after the Champions League when we played them. I think Robbie Fowler played in that game. Craig Bellamy played in that game. I think we had lost that game 3-2 in Istanbul. We have played Galatasaray before, and they've had a great start to the season as well. Asim. 7 wins out of 7, maximum points. They've assembled a very, very good team. Gundogan, Leroy Sané, Lucas Torreira, who we remember from Arsenal, Mario Icardi, who's just a bagsman who scores goals galore, and Juan Victor Osimhen as well, who's had a great season last year, and someone that Gina was advocating for Liverpool to be buying last summer, but we got an Isak. So they've got some. They're a very useful team. A very
spend
good
a lot
team.
of money on that Monaco defender as well, Avi Singo,
Wilfred Singo, yeah. And they're a good team, and they're top of the league for obviously on merit. So it will be a hostile atmosphere. I think the first 15-20 minutes it will be to quieten down that crowd, because I know they love their flares, the fireworks, and I know Gene's been there and he says Abby the atmosphere in Galatasaray and at the Rams Park, I think that's the stadium name with 54,000. He's always said it's rapturous and it's something out of this world. So we just got to make sure that we contain the crowd, because you don't want to go 1-0 down to that crowd. I remember a game, Asim, under Klopp. Was it against Zagreb or Partizan Belgrade, where we lost 2-0 and we had to go through this tunnel, and it was we were in a purple kit, purple and orange lettering.
Yeah.
And we got annihilated that game. I think we lost that game 2-0, and we conceded a goal early on. And we just got to make sure that we contain the crowd. You contain the crowd, everything will work out. But I'm kind of looking forward to this game. It will be interesting to see what the response is after Saturday.
What is that response for you, though?
Listen,
just to win, or do we need to make a statement after Saturday?
The statement will come on Saturday, hopefully, against Chelsea. But in the Champions League, you want to get out of there with a result, a draw or ideally a win. But as long as we don't lose, we don't want to make it a habit. But I think usually slots teams, after a defeat, which is very rare from last season. After the Nottingham Forest, we had a big bounce and we went on a great run. But I think after a defeat, slots Liverpool, especially the record given, we come out of the traps and we will get a result. Intensity, all the things that Slot has been mentioning, complacency. I want to see a little bit of it tomorrow. That's why I will go strong and we'll come into our first 11, our predicted first 11. I do hope that we start strong tomorrow with the selection and with obviously from minute one as well.
Ben, Galatasaray, I had a bit of a check. They've been playing 3-4-2-1 at times as well. How do you see them lining up against Liverpool? Obviously, the big Liverpool are turning open in town. Do they continue playing expansive football? They've been playing generally a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. But do you see them just parking a bus and catching Liverpool on the counter? I've been speaking to a few Turkish friends and they say, look, we play aggressive football, whether we play a 3-4-2-1 or a 4-3-3, and we really press teams up high up the pitch. But they were saying we are a bit worried about how Liverpool can just play through us. But that atmosphere, surely they come at us. But obviously there'll be a lot of respect towards Liverpool as well. But how do you see it going? Like Avi said, the first 15-20 minutes are very important tomorrow night.
Yeah, very interesting game. I don't know a lot about Galatasaray tactically, to be honest. I wasn't even sure on the formation. Obviously, I know a few of their players. But the interesting thing about Galatasaray, and I think Turkish football in general, and this is something I have read, is that they're 7 from 7 as things stand in the Turkish league. However, they got battered by Frankfurt 5-1. But then you look at that game in a little bit more detail, and I think the XG was very similar, and it was quite close to game. And it's just like I think they were they capitulated, conceded 3 goals in like 10 minutes or something. And I think, generally speaking, from the vibe I'm reading and getting, is that there's a bit of a complex in Turkish football, whereas they've spent a lot of money generally across Turkish football, and it feels as though there's a little bit of an inferiority complex, and they feel as though they're spending a lot of money, but they're still nowhere near the level of the other European leagues, and there's just a little bit of nervousness comes in when they play teams. So I think I think they will go for us tomorrow because the atmosphere will demand that. But at the same time, if Liverpool just hold their nerve and just stay, compact and stay composed, then our class should come through, and we should be able to pick them off. So I want to see, I think at the end of the day, and this might sound daft, but I'm not desperately worried about the result tomorrow night, because I think the way the Champions League format is, it's not like, oh my word, we lose tomorrow and we're out. It's been clearly seen that you can lose a couple of games. But for me, I want to see a performance tomorrow. I want to see like a really confident performance. And I don't just want to see half an hour, 40 minutes, 20 minutes. I want to see a 90-minute performance, because that's one thing we haven't seen this season. Because people say we've been crap all season, and that's nonsense. We were brilliant against Everton in the first 45. We were really good against Atletico for 60, I'd say. We were really much improved against Arsenal second 45, but we just need to put it together. So at least see 70, 80, at least a minute performance. And I think if we perform anywhere near our level, then the results will just take care of itself. I don't want to see a scrappy game where it could have gone either way and then we nick it, because it'll be the same sort of comments coming out. Oh, Liverpool have found a way, but they're still not convincing. I want to see a performance.
Okay, let's go to the first super chat of the night. Jack Whitaker, always supporting the channel. Thank you very much, Jack, for sending this through. He says, God forbid we lose another match. The reaction on X today has been crazy, calling for Slot's head. To be honest with you, and I think he later on mentions it, that there's been some big accounts. I'm not seeing, whether it's a big or a small account, people calling for. Actually, someone, Rehan, sent me one. I tell a lie. Where he goes on to say, calling for Slot's head, cryptic posts on X to fuel the fire doesn't help. I mean, whoever these accounts are, big or small, if you're calling for Slot's head after I heavily criticized the manager for the first half, and I still stand by that. But to call for his head, it's not even ludicrous. It's not even calling it ludicrous. It's being very, very kind.
Honestly, imagine if we were United fans. We would never sleep.
This is how fickle the game has become, hasn't it? This is
mental. It's mental. I was just looking now. Sorry to interrupt, Javi. No. Our last significant defeat was Fulham last year, because I'm not including the games after we won the league, because we were all pissed in Ibiza. And the last significant defeat was Fulham last year. Like, I can't remember. I'm trying to work out what date that was. I think it was.
And even that game, Ben, I think we were still 10, 12 points ahead.
Yeah, it's when exactly. Muniz got the goal that day, didn't he?
Muniz got the goals, yeah. But it was donkeys ago. And it's like, oh my word. What planet are these people on? He had a shocking 45-minute display slot where he picked the wrong team and the wrong tactics, and then he fixed it at half time and we battered them second half, and we could have got out of there. We didn't deserve it, but we could have got out there with the points, and we all move on. But it's like people talking that he's red flags and the manager's gone and he's lost the dressing room. It's bullshit.
If Arsenal had drawn that game, if Newcastle had done their job yesterday, they would have got a result yesterday against Arsenal. But Arsenal, fair play to them, they did what we did. N'Gamua gets our winner, Gabriel gets their winner, and they're back 2 points. It could have easily been a draw, and we're still 4 points clear, and none the wiser, right? And no one would have complained. Because Arsenal put that pressure on now. Everyone's saying Slot did this. Now they're finding little sort of angles. Oh, Chiesa's not injured. He's fit. This journal said he's fit. This journal has said, no, there's no issue. Slot's blatantly lying. Like, I'm sorry, but if that's the kind of support fan base that we've got, and it is most of this Twitterverse, it is mostly fans on Twitterverse that honestly open their mouth, faceless accounts, honestly, and I've got no time for them. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. It's the sad little lives that they live, basically. They've probably never been to Anfield. Right, they've never even sort of embraced the club's culture. Everyone knows Liverpool is a club of patience. And listen, we've given Slot, and don't get me wrong, the PSG games we were a little bit critical of Slot, and we hope that he learned from that PSG game at Anfield. And again, that game we lost out on penalties. On another day, we go through on penalties. It's fine margins. Every game that Slot, meaningful game that we've lost, it's been very fine margin. It's not as if we've been outplayed for 90, 95 minutes and that's it. We've got absolutely battered. Palace was unlucky. We should have got away with it. We should have got a way out there with a draw at best, And if it's a pattern of games where we lose or we're drawing or it's been a consistent run of games, then by all means, Slot deserves a bit of criticism, but we do know that after a result which hasn't gone our way, Slot and the team bounces back.
Yeah. Maybe again though, it's just maybe it's just a reflection of where we're at as a club, in that the demands and the expectations when you win stuff and you're successful and you perform and then you buy top class players, the expectations go through the roof, and it does make you laugh, doesn't it? Because we would have been happy with the Champions League qualification a few years ago, and now it's like we're champions, we're top of the league, we lost one game, and it's like the world's ending. But you know what?
There'll be people out there. If we don't win the league, if we don't get like if we win the league with like 85 points, people will say, "Why didn't we get 90 this season? Why didn't we get 93, 94 this season?" There's always going to be silly little boys, little children that are always going to complain about this team. Listen, we're champions. As far as I see it, we're champions. I think we're well favourites to retain the title, and I think we'll have a good crack at the Champions League too.
Okay, let's go to tomorrow night then. We'll save our predictions for later, Ben. We're picking the team, or we're going to go around the table and pick our own teams. Well, Alisson.
Collectively, let's do it collectively.
Okay.
Collectively.
I think Alisson.
I can't have my own opinion. I get shouted at.
I think Alisson deserves a place in the team, doesn't he?
Ben wants Woodman in tomorrow
After a great Saturday.
Yeah. I don't know. There was a little bit of murmurings though that Alisson did turn his ankle, didn't he, towards the end of the game against Palace? So I don't know whether or not there is. Like, if there's even a slight doubt over him as well, then there's a possibility that they put Mamardashvili in. I doubt it, but if there is a little doubt there, then he might think about that. But yeah, I think if he's fine, then it'll obviously be Alisson.
I'm saying Mamardashvili starts tomorrow.
Are you having a laugh?
Get your own predictions, Avi.
I have a feeling Mamardashvili, the Georgian, starts tomorrow.
But, you mean regardless of Alisson, if he hasn't,
regardless of whether he's fit or not?
I didn't see anything in regards to Alisson picking up a niggle. Ben,
he turned on his ankle a little bit.
Turned his ankle right at the end of the game.
He was feeling it at Palace, wasn't he? I saw that.
Yeah, and it was dead funny as well, because when he done it, he played the ball out to Van Dijk, and Van Dijk immediately passed it back to him. And I'm like, you're mad, man. He doesn't want it back. He's like holding his ankle. But there we go. Yeah. So I think it'll be Alisson.
So 2 against 1.
Okay.
Right back. Now this will be interesting. I'm going with Bradley.
Wow. Who started? Bradley started, didn't he?
Bradley. These are nice message. Before we go, that I think is a Turkish fan. Masun Kormaz, welcome to hell. We are waiting for you, Gala.
Have you seen the have you seen the banner that they had up for the last time we went to the last time we went to Galatasaray? Somebody put it on Twitter, like a banner, and it was like, hell my arse, have you been to the Grafton?
Yeah.
For anyone in the chat who doesn't know, the Grafton is a local establishment in Liverpool that let's just say takes all sorts.
And does it
you
take
can take me, Ben, you can take me there when we go the
good, the bad, the ugly, and the old. Put it that way.
Right back, Ben.
I'm gonna say Frimpong.
Ooh.
Because, and the reason why I'm saying it is because he actually had his best game for us against Atletico, and I think the European games might just suit him a little bit more. He needs to get some rhythm because he's been a little bit of a, he's been a bit all over the place in the last few games, and I think that there's a chance that he starts Frimpong.
Oh, Safe's in the house. He says, Asim, I'm in Istanbul. I'm going to tomorrow's game. Big up there. I've got a few friends who will be in the stadium as well. Enjoy it, Safe, and bring back the 3 points. Hope you will.
Are we sure China's going to be at the game tomorrow?
Safe, get in touch with me on Twitter, please. Just get in touch with me. Gene is away. He wanted desperately to go, and a lot of his Turkish friends were asking him and persuading him to go, but he had to attend business elsewhere. He is abroad, but he's not in Turkey.
It's very heavily supported, Liverpool in Turkey, isn't it? So do you think there'll be many Reds in the home end?
Probably not. There will be, but they'll have to have a mask on.
To keep quiet.
Oh, you have to keep quiet there.
Yeah, the paraphernalia with the build up to the game. Like I've got a few friends who have gone, oh my word, it's ridiculous. You can't take power packs in. You can't have a bag. You got to be picked up by a bus 3 hours before, and they're going to go in convoy. You know, they're treating it like as if it's, you know, the flipping a war zone sort of thing. It's mad, but hey ho. Sorry, we've gone off tangents.
I'm going Bradley. I agree with Avi. But is this what we want or what we think Slot is going to do?
This is what I think. I think Slot is going to stick with Bradley.
So we're predicting
all right, let's give all of our opinion and then what we think Slot's opinion is then.
All right, okay.
So I want him to start Bradley, but I think he'll start Frimpong.
Yeah, I think Bradley starts.
And you think you think Slot goes for him as well, Abby?
Yeah. Well, that's yeah.
Okay, so we've gone Bradley. You outvoted thingy.
Centre backs.
Are you guys seriously about Mamashvili?
I was serious about Mama starting.
No, Alisson will start.
Okay.
So you go down
we've got Ali Bradley, yeah? Ben wanted Gomez to start tomorrow.
Yes.
Do you think Slot will do it?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm going to go with I think he's going to stick with the Frenchman, Konate and Van Dijk.
I want him to start Gomez. Sorry, I think he'll start Konate. Sorry, we're doing that thinking once.
Yeah. Let's go with what we think Slot will do.
Okay,
right,
Konate.
Okay, fair enough. Konate then.
Verge.
I want Konate dropping. I think he deserves to be dropped.
No, I think so too. But I think, and look, Joe Gomez. I just want to come to this. Joe Gomez's passing is usually spot on. Against Southampton, it stunk the gaff out, and he caused us so many problems. But other than that, defending wise, there was a last ditch tackle on the 88th minute, I believe, which was a nice tackle. He was fine. It was just his passing was absolutely atrocious. But I think Konate. It's a tricky one with Konate, Asim, because we've seen prior to yesterday, the last 2 weeks, he's been phenomenal. He was absolutely back to his best, near best, against Burnley, against Arsenal, and then against Everton. But he had this moments again with Palace away, which is tricky. Which Mateta he brings out the ugliness of every defender in the Premier League, bar Van Dijk. So he is a big problem. But Konate just with the ball, I've said it many times, he's not a slot defender, especially with the ball. But I think tomorrow he'll go with Konate and.
So here's my philosophy as well on the situation between now and the 1st of January, when hopefully we sign Mark Gay or another centre half. We must have 15 games maybe between now and the 1st of January, something like that. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head, but from my perspective, we can't go between now and the 1st of January with Konate and Van Dijk starting every meaningful game. You can't. I don't think you can get away with Gomez only playing in the League Cup. He's got to start at some point because you're just running the risk of breaking Konate. We know that Van Dijk can repeat games comfortably. That's not a problem, and that's always going to be the case. But Konate, you can't play him 3 games a week until the 1st of January. So you've got to find that. So to me, this is the pot 4 away team. I know they're a difficult team, and I know but on paper, it's the easiest team in the group. So when does he get a start, Gomez?
Interesting. But I changed my mind on the right back, guys.
Okay.
I changed my mind.
My right back.
He's going to go with Szoboszlai.
I think Slot is going to go Szoboszlai right back tomorrow.
Again, he's going to be up against Leroy Sané. Asim, just a FYI.
Does he play on the left?
All the more reason.
Oh, no, sorry. Burak Yilmaz. Who's playing
Yilmaz. Sane plays on the other side. If he plays in the 3-4-2-1, he plays in the right side, number 10, doesn't he? So it depends what he plays as well. But I think regardless of what he plays, he won't be on that side anyway. But I think he'll go. I think he'll go Szoboszlai. And The reason why I think it is because I think Curtis Jones is going to play tomorrow.
Yes. My midfielder. My Scouse. Curtis Jones. CJ.
That's just an
Yes.
opinion. That's just an opinion. But I think Curtis Jones is going to play tomorrow.
So
but that's
I've said Bradley. He said Frimpong. You've gone with Szoboszlai. So what do we do? Rock, paper, scissors.
No, because I think Szoboszlai deserves it. He's been our best right back. Agreed? Ben?
No.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah, yes, yeah.
So
he's a right back shifter, but he's not a permanent right back.
Okay, are we going right back? Are we going thingy then?
We're going all three differently, so that's fine. Let's go with that.
Yeah, so we've gone our right back, Kanate, Verge, left back.
Robbo. Just that stadium, the experience, the flares, the fireworks, the hostility. I think he needs a level-headed leader. I know he's got Van Dijk and Ali, as you two think that he's going to be starting. I think Mama, but I think Robertson is key tomorrow. He will start.
You know, I would agree with Avi. I think Robbo deserves a start as well. And
by the way, Kirkus didn't do anything wrong on Saturday. I know we've debated about the clearance, should have gone with his right, but there was instances before and after that that could have been prevented for that second goal for the winner for Palace. But I think tomorrow, Slot just needs a little bit of leadership, and Robbo brings that.
Experience, hostile atmosphere, Ben. Does Robbo get a pick?
Yeah, no, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, does he want to play Kirkes into rhythm and form and system? And that was my only caveat. But I think listening to the both of you, it makes sense in this sort of arena. And while you've got a fresh Robbo that you can rotate, then why not use him? So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
guys, there's a lot of in between.
Only player.
One minute. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of people in the chat going amongst each other, going against one another. Let's just keep it respectful. I can see arses and this. You're a cock. You're a dick. This and that. But let's just keep it respectful, guys, in the chat. Banter is fine amongst you guys, but let's just keep it a bit respectful.
Go on, Avi. You're the voice of reason tonight. Robbo is the only player that we've all agreed on.
It is. Yeah.
My bad. Baris Yilmaz. Sorry, my bad. Baris Yilmaz. It's not Burak. It's Baris. I had it written down as well. My bad.
Gravenberg, we can all agree on, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my guy Curtis next to him. Anjay. Raminal Curtis Jones tomorrow. Raminal Curtis Jones.
Raminal means nice and easy. Ben?
Maka.
Whoa, gone.
I'll beat you one day.
So who do you want in the number 10 then?
Words. It's got to be Words.
Not a bit concerned about the physicality, away from home, hostile atmosphere.
I don't know how physical they are. They've got Gundogan in midfield. He's an old man. You know, there shouldn't really be any physical.
Lucas Torreira and Gundogan. Lucas Torreira is about 30,
yeah. So it's the battle of the hobbits, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, I've got no problem with McAllister. For me, is in the same mold as Robertson.
You've dropped Szoboszlai then.
Have I?
Yeah, because you went Bradley right back, Frimpong right back, and you.
I thought I got outvoted at Szoboszlai right back because we all picked one.
No, he said he might play Szoboszlai off the left of a front three.
No, I'd like to see that, but I don't think that's what'll happen tomorrow. But yeah, I thought we'd all have to agree because you're the director, Asim, then you get the final vote.
No. But like your opinion.
My opinion.
Because you went Bradley.
No, my opinion. If it was my opinion, I'd go Verts off the left again.
Ooh. No, man.
See what Carragher said as well tonight on MFN.
What did he say?
He said he sees the long-term position for Verts off the left.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, because he says the midfield three of last season is the right balance and it's the right system.
It's the right balance because we haven't given enough patience for the new integration of the 10 to work. We've given it a sample size of 6 games, a game in the Champions League. That's not enough. Wirt's second half on Saturday was fine. He actually was fine on Saturday until he came off. Kara, I respect his opinion, but I've stopped listening to him a very long time ago. I love him. I love him as a character. I love his personality. I love he's a legend for the club. But I stopped listening to him from a footballing perspective.
So if we're saying that Wirtz plays long term in the 10, then we're saying that there isn't a long term position for one of last season's Premier League winning midfielders.
I said that yesterday. I said about McAllister. Yeah. I worry about McAllister.
And I cannot believe that was the plan at the start of the season, to either bench McAllister or to convert Szoboszlai to a right back. I can't believe that was the plan.
But Ben, we said yesterday, you're not spending 116 million on Florian Wirtz to come off the left. And I know positionally he's fluid, and in games he won't be predominantly on that left because Kirk should be bombing down that forward. But surely we can't say that a 116 million pound player whose best work is done in the 10 for the last 3-4 years, all of a sudden we're shifting him from the left from the start.
So in that case, then you're saying by signing a 116 million pound midfielder, you're benching a 100 million pound midfielder.
Who's 100 million?
McAllister.
He's not worth 100 million.
Well,
you'll get 60 for him next summer. You'll get 60 for him next summer.
That's recency. That's recency bias, though, because he's not playing great. Last season he was phenomenal, and he won the World Cup.
Not worth 100 million, though.
Well, whatever. Then you know what I mean. He's a hugely influential midfielder who's a World Cup winner. And you know, you're not telling me that we've been talking about him being the next captain.
Not me, Gene and Asim, maybe not me. I've always said
I didn't say McAllister. Like, look, he's
Ben,
a leader.
I will go out on a limb and say, out of all the midfielders we have currently at the club, all playing midfielders, I'm not going to add Badicic and all these bloody idiots that are coming through or whatnot. Out of all the midfielder players, I am quite comfortable letting go of Alexis McAllister. Quite comfortable, by the way. 60, 70 million net. Because I want physicality. I want PMP, not plug and play. I want power and pace in my midfield. I don't think he gives us the big games. And you've seen it against the Arsenals, against physicality teams like Crystal Palace. McAllister has.
But then you're saying Wirtz is McAllister's replacement. Wirtz doesn't bring physicality.
No, McAllister is on the top of that sort of trifecta as a 10. The two sitting behind him, ideally in an ideal world, at the moment, it's got to be either a Gravenberch or a Szoboszlai, or a Gravenberch or a Jones, or dare I say, next summer you get a Belabor and a Gravenberch, and you enable Wirtz just to go out there and play.
Yeah, I can see that. But this is not next season, is it? You know, this is this season, so we need to work out what we're going to do with him.
Gravenberch and Szoboszlai is my ideal. Ideally, is my front. That 3 midfield is mine.
But he keeps picking McAllister, so he clearly wants to use him. So, you know, I know I sound like I'm being ultimate devil's advocate, but I'm just looking at what's in front of me. I can't believe that the plan this season was to bench McAllister. And I think he keeps playing him, and he's not even playing well, and he still keeps picking him. So what about when he finds his form?
I do think that his hand will be forced then. Slot's hand will be forced.
I just think it's a fascinating conversation as to, I keep sounding like I repeat myself, but it's like, what actually is the plan?
And I think having the beauty of this squad now, and it has filled up a little bit, and we've got Wirtz in now. I think it's a question that Slot will be answering week in and week out. I think depending on the opposition, he will go with what suits the system. But if we're saying long term, like Kara may have mentioned today on Monday Night Football, that he sees Wirtz off the left, I don't see how we become a fluid team and how we get the best out of Wirtz and the team with him being on the left.
But you keep saying like you don't know what the plan is. First of all, I disagree with that. Is you can't say like we try to bring Wirtz in to not replace Szoboszlai in the number 10 position, because I think we have to understand the plan was to add output and creativity in the team. Is we probably thought Salah, as great as he was last season, he can't replicate that season again. More importantly, we lost probably half of our creativity and half of our build-up in Trent going. So I think we're never going to replace a Trent in creativity. So what do? You go get a guy who can get that output. And
I agree.
And so that was the plan. But in terms of just sidelining physicality and Szoboszlai thinking he was just going to drop to the bench, I don't think it was as simple as that, because it is, horses for courses. And we've seen so many times that Gravenberch was absolutely knackered for the last third of the match and the season. And if you see Szoboszlai, alternating positions with him, he's been deeper out of the two many times. And we've been listening to Slot and Gravenberch talk about more freedom this season for Ryan Gravenberch and get into the box because he's such a comfortable player in turning in tight spaces. I think there was a plan in terms of adding quality to the team. That's all it was.
I agree.
Because you're never going to replace a unicorn in Trent. As much as you hear him, I've talked about it long enough. But what you could do is you could add more creativity in the advanced areas. And I think that is one of the... I have not heard Carragher talk. I disagree with him. I don't think the long-term plan... you're talking about plans as... and we've been listening to Florian Wirtz and Slot giving him the talk.
Yeah, sorry, I'm probably ad-libbing when he said the long-term plan. He said the plan going forward, and I think he was referring to the fact that he sees Liverpool's best midfield as Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, and therefore you've got to find a place for Wirtz. So the only real option for him is off the left because Salah plays off the right, and he's actually going to play through the middle.
But doesn't that go against your thinking or about asking what the plan for Florian Wirtz is? Then you go and stick him on the left-hand side. What about the plan and all the talks and the PowerPoint presentations that we were told that Arne Slot gave him? That you're going to be the focal point of the attack.
Yeah. So within 2 months, I can only assume then that his plan was then to use Szoboszlai as a right back, but then he bought Frimpong. And what I'm saying is, if you put all of the players that are going to start in their best positions, there's an odd one out. Who is that odd one out? Avi says it's McAllister. I'm saying that it's Gakpo, and it's and it's obviously just opinions, but it doesn't make sense for me that all of a sudden we just thought, right, okay, Szoboszlai, you're going to play right back this season. I actually think that Szoboszlai was the weak link in the club's eyes in a way, and they were expecting him to be sort of the one who drops off, but ironically he's been our best player probably this season. He's been our best performer, and he's undroppable at the moment, so therefore you've got to find a place for him.
I think if you go spend £160 million on a player, you're going to play him in his favoured position and what you had the plan for him in pre-season and before that as well, before he came to the club. If he was going to play on the left, we would have seen it by now. And I agree. As in, what we would have seen it before Palace. We would have seen him on the left-hand side. I don't think, and I'm not there yet, and I don't think I ever will be, for a manager and modern coaches, all about man-to-man press and against really aggressive teams. And even at low blocks, where you're going to create the isolations, you're going to create the isolations on the wing. I can't believe he's going to go from a touchline winger in Diaz. I know he played on the number 9 position, but he's a proper touchline winger. A Gakpo converted inside forward to a touchline winger who plays the position of touchline winger and stretches back fours and back fives, to go the complete opposite of playing an inside number 10. And then, because I think it becomes too predictable.
Yeah.
What the second half showed, and I know we've been playing that structure a lot more, is one, we're used to it and it works, is because we've got players in their natural positions. I think we've become way too predictable. And the worst thing about that position is the midfielder who plays on the left-hand side. The moment we lose the ball, that player is in the defensive line. And if it's McAllister, it is very, very... there's a lot of imbalance to it.
Would McAllister be your choice to come out of that 3 then as well?
No, because I would look, when I remain consistent, horses for courses. Even last season, you obviously used to watch the shows, Ben. How we would back me up. I always liked Luis Diaz in away games, and I always liked Gakpo in home games.
Right. Okay. So you haven't really got a strongest 11 in your mind. It's more like horses for courses, as you say.
Yeah.
And it just moved people around. Yeah. And it just played the people who were in form. Gone mute.
His mic's gone, hasn't it, buddy?
Yeah.
You're still on mute.
Mate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now
I got you, mate. Got you. Yeah. And that's another way of putting it. But I suppose it's the age-old conversation as to who starts in the Champions League final if it's tomorrow. But I just think, generally speaking, as a season develops, you tend to sort of know your best 11. Generally speaking, and I suppose maybe it's just a case of who you think on paper is the best 11 doesn't end up being the best 11 as the season evolves, because it comes down to fitness and form and everything else. And maybe it is just a case of this season, Szoboszlai becomes our right back, and that is something that just evolves naturally over time. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But yeah, tell you what, this is the longest team selection in the history of football. Isn't it?
Okay, where were we? What's our
three.
midfield then? What's our midfield?
Midfield 3. I've gone with the Grab, Szoboszlai, Wirtz.
Grav?
Szoboszlai and Wirtz. Florian Wirtz.
So no Jones then? You
Sorry?
don't think he gets a game?
You think Curtis Jones is getting game? I personally think he's not.
But no, but the way you reacted, I thought you're going to agree. Okay.
No, because you said no. I said yes, my guy. If that's what you've heard in the
Who's your
grapevine,
midfield tomorrow, Ben?
I think he'll go with Gravenberch, McAllister, and Wirtz.
Gravenberch, Gravenberch,
McAllister,
and Wirtz.
Wirtz. Yeah.
Okay.
The little the battle of the hobbits, as we say. Gakpo will be back on the left then.
Gakpo would be. Oh, so you're putting him back on, yeah?
Yeah, he's getting a game. Yeah,
After all
Gakpo,
that.
TK, and Salah is my front three.
Yeah, I think the front three picks itself tomorrow.
Salah, Ekitike, and Gakpo.
Yeah.
There might be a case for Szoboszlai. I think McAllister will get a rest tomorrow. He might get 30 minutes. But the thing is,
if it's Jones, Asim, so you're saying it could be Jones, Gravenberch, and Wirtz?
Yeah.
If you're saying that, I have a feeling that could be the midfield that starts against Chelsea.
I was just about to say, look, you've got Chelsea. Do you think the midfield that starts tomorrow starts against Chelsea? Ben, if you're going to go with McAllister, Wirtz, and Gravenberch, so you are resting.
Sorry, I'm Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz for tomorrow, and then I think it goes back to I think Bradley starts against Chelsea.
So you think Szoboszlai gets a rest tomorrow?
No. I thought we said Szoboszlai's at right back.
I know, but that's because when I changed my mind.
Yeah, I think Szoboszlai will be at right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think, but then Chelsea's the bigger game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So if he leaves McAllister and Isak on the bench and then starts him at Chelsea, I'm sound with that. I'm absolutely sound with that.
I think there's a massive opportunity for Curtis Jones to be playing a more of an integral part than just 25, 30 minutes in the coming weeks, especially if McAllister continues this sort of loss of form, and he's going to. And I don't understand. I don't understand it. But do we know what the real issue with McAllister? This injury that he had towards the back end of the season, where he was rested.
He got the last month of the season off, didn't he? And then he didn't obviously. He didn't do any preseason whatsoever. So
is it one that they're nursing, or one that they're seeing whether they've got to operate on it? One of those where players are still playing through the sort of pain barrier threshold, but they've got to make a decision sooner rather than later. Because if it is, it could be a long-term hamstring strain or injury.
Yeah, but then why is he playing him then? Why not do what you need to do and just say, right, we're pulling him out because he needs to have an op or whatever. Feels to me like they're just trying to play him back into rhythm. He played nearly enough every single game last season, didn't he? He is a very physical player. He gets bashed around quite a bit. He gets stuck in, doesn't he? So he does take a lot of kicks and knocks and stuff. So, maybe it is just a case of a bit of wear and tear with him.
It could also be a lot of fatigue as well, Asim and Ben. He has played a lot of football.
Oh, come on, fatigue. You bloody had a month off.
1 minute. Since Qatar World Cup, Brighton, Copa Americas, season in season out with Argentina, and they've gone and won Copa Americas, then the World Cup, then coming to Liverpool, playing 53 games per season. Sometimes it could be a case of where he needs 2-3 months to get back into full rhythm again. It happens. Fatigue is a real thing. So you can't say it's not.
No, I know, but that's why we gave him a month off, man.
I think Curtis Jones is a real at 24 now. He has a real chance of, and he's on his ability. He's got the ability. He needs a consistency and staying injury free. But Curtis Jones could be a mainstay in the first 11.
Do you just sticking with Curtis Jones, Ben? Do you think if he's got a chance for Chelsea, I can't see Curtis Jones just randomly coming in for Chelsea. I think he needs 60 tomorrow to get a starting place against Chelsea. Do you agree?
But a productive 60, not just 60 minutes under his belt, a productive 60. Not just ball retention, but actually probing, going forward, pressing the opposition, and playing the passes that we know he's capable of.
You know, I don't like to piss on anyone's bonfire, but I'm not having Jones at all as a first team starter. He's a really good squad player, and he'll have one really good game in 10. But I'm just not having him as a mainstay. I just think he's a decent squad player. But you know, he come on Saturday and just played the ball out of into touch under absolutely no pressure whatsoever. He's just not consistent enough for me. I think, as I say, he's got the ability to have little bursts of 1 and 2, even 3 games where he's really good. But then if he has any sort of run in the team, his form drops off, or he gets to knock himself. He's got injury issues on the sly as well. He always seems to miss games. So yeah, I think he's great to have as a squad option off the bench. He can shoot the ball and he can retain possession really well. But I'm just not having him as a serious starter.
Okay, that's a big call.
Thanks, Piper. Hanji, Gene, Raminal, wherever he is in Baghdad. Hanji, salute, mano, Gina.
Baghdad. Flipping it.
God,
selling cakes on the Gaza Strip.
Honestly, even though the shows have been good and today's been another blockbuster show, we do miss.
Gene, honestly,
we do miss out.
I need you back. I need someone to take the flak.
Ben's troubled. Ben's troubled in the last 24 hours. He goes,
honestly,
I need back to take
emotional roller coaster. This
safe. Don't worry about the king. Safe. Fikr mat. The king will step up, man. The king will step up. Rehan super chat. He says, "Thank you so much, Rehan. As ever, I can't believe there are fans doubting and writing off Slot. They act like we've been consistently winning leagues." Titles in the modern era. He won us our second title in 35 years in his first season. He deserves our full belief. Well said, man. Well said, Rian. Those idiots who are look, you're allowed to criticize, but if you criticize, then at least back it up as well. Don't come out with stupid comments and stupid statements just for clicks. That is, look, it's like Avi said, it's the world we live in. Why are you guys surprised about it? Let's see what Gene thinks in the chat. Gene, do you see Maka starting tomorrow? Do you see him starting tomorrow? Where?
What does that mean from Rumi, Asim?
Sorry?
Andy,
what does that mean from Rumi?
He says, everything's good.
Everything's
Anji
good.
means hello, like hello, Anji.
Yeah, got that one, yeah.
Sub TikTok means, are you okay? Are you okay?
Sound okay. I'll have to bag that one.
Predictions.
But Ben, the new one that you got to memorize is Raminal. Raminal, there you go, Raminal.
And what's that mean before I start saying it to me boss?
Full enjoyment, full relax. Just relax now. Raminal, relax.
Raminal chat.
Yeah, Raminal.
Ben, I'll come and save you when I'm back. And
who needs AI translation when we've got me and Asim? Eh? Who needs AI?
Speaking from experience, there, Asim. I don't know what that is reference to. Okay, predictions, boys. What we saying?
2-1 Liverpool.
We conceding then Ben, yeah? Set piece.
Eke TK, and I think Florian Wirtz gets off the mark tomorrow.
I would love Florian.
He's been saying this every 3 days.
No, I said on the Everton game. Everton game, I thought he was going to score, you know.
Liverpool will concede tomorrow. I agree with Avi, but Liverpool will also score 3 goals.
Go on, Ben. Scorers, Ben?
Ekitike will score because he owes us. I think Mo will score because he's Mo. And I think Van Dijk will score.
I've got actually good chant. Can I sing my chant?
Go on then. Can I record
my
it?
word.
He
Can we pin
He sings
this?
when he wants. He sings. He scores when he wants. He scores when he wants. Hugo Ekitike. He scores when he wants.
Oh my word. That is that is majorly original. That is, Avi, honestly. How many hours did you spend with the think tank coming up with that one? What a legend.
Oh, on a serious note, I think this
Asim's on the loose again.
If this is true, these are a great gesture by the Galatasaray fans. Tomorrow, choreography for Diego Jota and our former player Amit.
That'd be sound. That'd be nice.
That's a great gesture.
That'd be sound.
If that is true.
He used ChatGPT to get that chance.
No, not that.
Please. Don't give away
yes,
he scores every game. He scores every game.
Alex, why would you need to bloody use ChatGPT for that? Come on,
honestly.
lad.
That's a shit, John. That's brilliant.
Avi, do you want to have another go?
Sing to us, Avi. Come on.
Go on, yeah. Come on, Avi, man.
I'm just gonna sing Chiesa song the whole time, aren't we?
Where is Hugo Ekitike originally from? Is he Cameroonian or is he Senegalese? I know he's French. What's his original?
Just quickly Google it.
Origins. I don't know actually. Let's chat GPT.
Anyone know if he's Senegal?
Senegal.
Early life. I'm only thinking early life. Or Cameroon.
Cameroonian.
Okay.
Cameroonian father and a French mother.
Oh, here we go.
No, I can't think of it. I was going to think of something like, remember that Patrick Vieira one? Vieira, he came from Senegal. He plays for Arsenal. So I thought maybe we could do that with Hugo. It's obviously we can't do that with Hugo because he's from Cameroon.
Yeah, Arsenal, Nicolas. It's not the other way around. Okay,
who's on the watch along tomorrow, Asim?
You know what? I'm trying to grab a few people. So
anyone looking to kill two birds with one stone and watch a football match and have the greatest fish and chips that the Northwest has to offer?
Junior's out tomorrow. At the moment, it's only me.
No, what's called? No, Aki.
I'm gonna ask Aki.
Yeah.
Asim, I think honestly you should still do it. I tell you why you should do it if you're on your own. You can involve the chat a lot more.
Huh?
Asim Bridge.
Does it? Yeah. I think you should do it.
That'll be class.
Ben, you can't make the trip tomorrow. You got work, haven't you, Ben? You're a bit tied up, aren't you?
I'll get over that late, mate. It's what's called. It's nearly 2 hours in the week with traffic and stuff, so I can't make it in the week. If it's a big one, then I'll be making special provisions. But this early in the season, I've got to pace myself. I'll be there.
I think you'll engage with the chat more. Just give the chat more emphasis during the watch along. Ramen, I'll just do it tomorrow.
Ramen, Jack goes out.
Listen, Jack. Yeah, there you go.
Jack, get in touch, mate, on Twitter. Actually, you messaged me a couple of. We're gonna play a 5-a-side. We're gonna play a 5-a-side against Jack's lot. 6-a-side.
Why didn't you get our boy, legend, Grizinovic?
Well, I think
I know he's coming from London.
London, can he, bloody idiot?
Just pay for his flight, get him a flight out to Bradford Airport, pick him up.
What do you think we are? Maybe flipping Apple. Okay, people. Let's go on, Ben. Go on.
No, I was just going to say it, but regardless if it's only Asim, it's happening, isn't it?
No, it's not. He's not sure.
Look, I can't guarantee.
He's playing with this one. Go on, Ben.
You know what? Yeah, I'm. You know what? We're going to cut to it tomorrow when Asim will be in the stadium.
You know what? If I don't do the watch along, I'll come live around about 6 o'clock for about
reaction
an hour.
show.
No, I'll do a pre-match, a bit of a team news one as well, and we'll be live together.
Is there a post-match tomorrow?
We'll do a post-match tomorrow. If there's no watch along,
I can potentially do a post-match on Wednesday. That's the only problem.
Okay, me and can
Well,
we
let me
go-
see. Let me see. I could be fluid tomorrow.
Angie,
It'll be
just
late
like
though,
the
won't it?
Liverpool
Because
midfield.
it's what 8 o'clock kickoff courts and 10 o'clock post match.
Asim, I'm giving you as many shows as I can this week because next week from in, I'll need a holiday again.
You know, our team's gonna give it to you if you don't give the shows this week. Okay, people, let's call it a day, man. We planned 40 minutes. You got 1 hour 15 hours.
I'm gonna
But-
say, yeah. Avi said 35, 40 minutes, and we're like
That's a good
115.
show.
Honestly,
You know,
just
you know
keep
what it is,
giving.
Ben? Because I've been away for like 10 days and I've only done one show in the last month. Now I've got that sort of rhythm going. Now
You're
I
in
can
the zone.
I can
In the
stream my
zone.
stuff and I don't mind.
The
So-
BNR algorithm is back up and running.
But you know what I'm peed off a bit about is like, you know, the likes have slowed down, the subscriptions have slowed down. That's all we ask for. It's free to like, it's free to subscribe. Come on, people. That's all we ask for. TK people, thank
Absolutely.
you very much for watching. We'll be back with a preview show, watch along maybe, and most definitely a post-match reaction. Will it be a
But these are
meltdown?
good one. These are good one. Asim, we can relate to this one. Hugo again. Aha, I like it. Aha, 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 aha. That one, remember? We need Irfan to do that one. We need Irfan.
What are
to
you
do
doing,
that.
Avi? Bloody hell, man. You're going to take your top off.
Maybe we should just do
Oh, yeah,
like
what are you doing, man? For Christ's sake.
A few greys.
and Avi hokey cokey tomorrow night. You know, we could.
Well, we
Anything.
all got to see Avi's chest.
I'll definitely be on some Koki. I don't know about the hokey. I'll be on the Koki for sure. Then, yeah. All right, guys. Have a good
End
one.
the show, man. End the show.
Good night,
Okay, people.
people.
We'll catch you tomorrow. Take care. Big up.